Needless to say, there is a lot going on in the world right now. And look, I don't want to really say that I'm down or depressed because that's not really the case. But what I will say is, I've been doing this for a while. I wake up every day and I cover these stories for you all. And sometimes it would be good, it would be awesome if I could just sit down with a smile on my face and report some good news to you all. You know what I mean? Like when you do this long enough, sometimes it gets to that point where you're like, man, I wish I had some good news to report to my subscribers. But the problem is, there's like tons of bad news every day. And look, I don't know what happened over like the last, I'll say 8 or 9 years, but we are living through historical event after historical event after historical event. So it's like we don't really have any time to hit the brakes or chill at all. But anyways, I was just, kind of tired of all of the bad news, all of the disappointing news, and I was getting ready to put my phone down when some good news came in for once. And I am extremely happy about this. I'm not caught by surprise because this should have been a given. However, seeing how everything has played out with this story, I've just been really skeptical, but it's official now. The Collin County Grand Jury has officially indicted Carmelo Anthony for first-degree murder. And folks, remember, as I reported to you all previously, obviously we know Carmelo is 18. I believe even at the age of 17, he could have been considered an adult. So he's going to be charged as an adult for first-degree murder. Which means there's a possibility, from my understanding, that he could do basically life. And that's what I'm hoping for. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to, they're going to take it there. They're going to say he deserves the chair, he deserves this, he deserves that. No, I'd rather him sit in jail for life. And the reason why I say that is because, from what I've been hearing, there wasn't really even a big altercation between him and Austin before Carmelo immediately, went to shanking him. So that just tells me a lot about Carmelo. It lets me know that he's not going to hold up well in jail. You're scared of fighting. They're going to turn him into a boy toy very, very, very quickly in prison. So the thought of him living out the rest of his days behind bars, just getting God knows what done to him, having his cornbread taken away every day, that sounds better to me than just the easy way out. But hey, either way, I'm okay with it as long as he is not walking freely in the streets anymore. But let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and roll a couple of clips for you all. But before I do that, if you guys enjoy the channel, please hit that thumbs up button. It's totally free. It's an easy way to support the channel. Hit the like, drop a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you really enjoy these videos, you could always consider donating via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always greatly appreciated, but of course it's not mandatory. But with that being said, let's go ahead and roll these clips. Let's just listen. For a moment, like I said earlier, there's a lot going on, but let's just have this moment where we can, I'm not saying we're going to throw an entire celebration, even though I got my birthday hat and my party blower in the other room ready, but let's just, soak in this good news for a moment as we listen to this clip and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
We have confirmed with Collin County authorities that an indictment of first-degree murder has been handed down by a grand jury against Carmelo Anthony. The 17-year-old Frisco High School student has been free on bond since this incident on April 2nd. We are also waiting for reaction or a statement from his attorney and family spokesperson. The father of Austin Metcalf, who was killed, Jeff Metcalf, tells me in a statement he is, quote, "just glad that the process is moving forward, and I look forward to the trial now," end quote. We are also expecting a statement from Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis, whose office will prosecute this case. A first-degree murder charge carries with it a possible sentence of 5 up to 99 years or life in prison if convicted. Anthony claims he stabbed Metcalf in self-defense during an altercation that preceded the stabbing. Now, the next step in this legal process is the assigning of a judge who will then set an initial appearance date. And that initial appearance date for Carmelo Anthony could be, I'm told, days, weeks, or even months down the road. And a trial date won't be set before 2026.
Good afternoon. Earlier this spring, our community was shaken by what happened at a school track meet in Frisco. The violent loss of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. For weeks now, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury, and today I summarized that evidence, and I asked the grand jury to return a first-degree murder indictment against Carmelo Anthony, which they did. With this indictment, the case now moves formally into the court system. From this point forward, we'll continue doing our job both fully and fairly to pursue justice under the law. As for the scheduling of the trial, that will be up to the court. But when the time comes, we will be ready. Now, we know that this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond. And that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core. But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves. We're also mindful of Austin's family and everyone who loved him. Please keep them in your thoughts, and if you're willing, your prayers as well. Finally, let's remember that a defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
Whoa. I don't know, folks. That clip made me feel some type of way. Like, it made me feel kind of emotional. And not emotional in like, oh, I need a tissue, I'm shedding real tears here, guys. Not in that kind of way. But that video, that little clip, as crazy as it sounds, it was way more impactful than it should have been. And I'm not saying that just because of the good news. You know, Carmelo Anthony has been indicted. We don't know if he'll be found guilty yet. We don't know what type of tricks Karmelo and his little team, the baby beard, look, we don't know what type of tricks they have up their sleeves. We don't know exactly what's going to happen here. I do expect that this story is going to get interesting. I do think there's going to be some twists and turns along the way. But what was really impactful about this clip is because as I was listening to it, as standard, it's a standard announcement, but it hit me that we have been talking about this story for a couple of months now. And this is one of the only times that I ever saw Austin Metcalf and his family really acknowledged. This is one of the first times that we see someone say, pray for Austin Metcalf's family, basically. Like, this is one of the first times that we see someone get on a microphone and just say a few kind words. We are months in, and this is one of the first times that we see someone get on the microphone and just to say the simplest of things, but just some kind words, just some common human decency, folks. That's why this clip really hit me, and I know it's just a run-of-the-mill announcement. Just like they do announcements for every murder and every case. I know. I follow these stories. I see these little press conferences and announcements all the time. And usually, you know, it's not a big deal. It's like, okay, we heard it before. We've seen it before. But the fact that as I'm watching it and I hear just those simple words like, you know, Austin was loved. Keep Austin's family in your thoughts. Pray for Austin's family. It really just hit me like a ton of bricks that we've been sitting here for months. And Austin's family, and this is something I've been complaining about the whole time, Austin's family has just not been acknowledged. Carmelo Anthony has been trotted around like the victim here. I've heard tons of prayers for Carmelo Anthony. I've heard so many kind words said on microphones about Carmelo Anthony. I've seen these press conferences and these announcements and these interviews about Carmelo Anthony. I've seen Carmelo Anthony's family do the press conferences and cry and then scream at people. We've watched it all. And very rarely, if at all, if ever, is there anything kind said? Is there any just common human decency to say, hey, you know, Austin Metcalf is the victim in this situation, pray for him, whatever. So, yeah, I think that tells you, if you're someone who hasn't followed this case, that should tell you everything you need to know about this case in a nutshell. That we had to wait all the way until an indictment came in, even though we know that he, you know, we already know how the story went down. Karmelo has already admitted to everything, but we had to wait until now just to hear a few kind words. Meanwhile, every few days, there's a new Carmelo Anthony interview or press conference or this or that. So, yeah, that's just wild, man. The way that Austin Metcalf's family has been treated along the way, I am just hoping and praying that they get justice because they deserve it. And I wish everyone just saw and knew how badly they've been treated this entire time. We've been watching it for a while, and something tells me it doesn't end here, okay? It does not end here. They've been treated like they're the criminals in this entire case for no reason at all other than, of course, you know, the racial aspect of this story. But you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.